Hey, welcome back to edtech by Meera, and in today's tutorial we'll be discussing about def in Python. We use def a lot of times in Python. So today we will analyze why use def, what is def, and what is the significance and what does it mean to use. So def is actually a keyword that is used in Python in order to describe or define a function. Usually you will find how it happens is when you use the def keyword, you'll find it is followed by the name of a function, like here, for example, find average, that is the name of the function, and then you have a parenthesis followed by parenthesis. Inside the parenthesis you have arguments. Like in this case you have three arguments, x, y, and z, and this is going to take certain functionality when called. That is the idea of using a function, right? So def keyword is used to describe a function or define a function. It has a name followed by parentheses and then some arguments, and inside this function we are gonna do, or rather execute, certain tasks that we need for the project or whatever. So that's the idea of using it. And then you'll also find what is happening, like for example in this particular scenario, the task that is to be carried out or executed is finding the average of, let's say, three arguments x, y, z. Then after that you need to specify through a variable which will be storing these values and telling the user what is average. You asked to find the average, but what is average? You need to also describe that. So average, we create a variable called average, and this is going to be, you need to define the average, x plus y plus z divided by 3, of course, right? And then you use the return keyword to return the average. So by using the return keyword, what is happening is you are actually specifying what is it that you want to execute. What task is it that you want to execute? You want to execute the average of three arguments x, y, z. And then create a solution. We assign a solution or create a solution called, in this case, we create a variable called solution, and then what do? We store the average of whatever, find average, with specific values. So find average 1, 2, 3 is what's happening. You're calling by using find average and specifying the particular values, specific values. Doing this, you are actually calling the function find average and assigning it to the variable called solution. This is what you're doing. So first you describe the function, then you specify the argument, then you explain what is the task to be done, then you explain how to return the task, and then you call the function by assigning it, in this particular case, to the variable called solution. So find average in this case with the specific values will be actually calling the function and then assigning it to the variable called solution in this particular case, and then using the print function you are printing the solution. So this is how you carry out the task of finding the keyword and printing it out, the solution final. Then let's consider another example. So in this case, what is a task? You need to add, from the name itself we should be able to figure out adding numbers. So here you want to add two numbers or arguments, whatever you call it, x, y. So define add num, which is the name of the function. In the parenthesis you have x, y, the two arguments. Then you need to create a variable called sum and explain what is the task, x plus y, that is the task. Then return the sum. So by using the return keyword, you're specifying the task to be done, that is, task is to find the sum of x and y. So you're returning it. Then after that you need to call the function. So how do you call the function? You have to come out of this indent, the previous indent, come, and then you create a variable called solution, and then call the function by name using the name of the function. What was the name of the function? Add num. And then inside the parenthesis, instead of writing xy, you have to write the specific value of x and y. When you say the first argument 100, the second argument 2507 means x is 100, y is 2507. It means that. So when you say add num 100 to 507 means you are calling the function with the specific values to be executing the task, and then assign it to the solution variable, and then finally print the solution. That's it. So you get the answer to your. So this is how you, second time you executed the task of adding the numbers that is required. So this is the reason why you use the def keyword. By first the steps I showed you, by having a name of the function, then adding the arguments, then creating a variable to explain the task, using return keyword to execute the task, then calling the function by adding specific values to the arguments, and then assigning it to a variable, and then lastly printing the final answer or the solution, whichever keyword that you, whichever variable you created to call the function, that one you will be printing out. So what all tasks you can do addition, multiplication, subtraction, division. I'm not showing all of them, but you can do different tasks. So we did the average of numbers, we did the addition, and you can also do like finding, like you can even use it inside conditional statements, if elif loop, if elif else loop. So here you want to, let's say, find the grade or based on mark sheet or score, right? So that will involve the if elif else loop. So like in examination, schools and all, we use this. So you define a function and we give it a name of find grade, and then inside the parenthesis the argument is a score because it's based on the score, right? So if the score is greater than equal to 95, now I've used here 95, that's up to you, whatever score you want to use, yeah, that is up to you. So if score or marks, you can also call it marks. If marks or score is greater than equal to 95, yeah, so then what happens is you want to return A grade, right? Usually, yeah. Elif, so you have different limitations like that. Elif score, let's say, greater than equal to 85, so that's up to you. 80, 85, totally depends on you. And then the colon. The colon is playing a very important part in functions, as you can see, because that will set the indentation here for specific code blocks. So if the score is greater than equal to 85, you have to return a B score, the grade, sorry, B grade. And then score again greater than equal to 75, and so on in that order. 70, 75, that's up to you again. Like I say, return a C grade. So you have, this is the if elif else score loop in this scenario. So the grade will be based on the marks or the score. You can even call it marks, total marks, that's up to you. So then if 75 equal to greater than equal to 75, in that it will be returning a C grade, and then you have next will be the D grade. Anyone receive D grade? Oh, I've never received D grade so far, not even C, sorry. Okay, just okay, then after that a score greater than 65 will be again the next one, as I say, return D grade. And the last one is A, B, C, D. Don't want to say E, let's call it F, meaning fail. Usually in most of the scenarios, F stands for failure, right? So you can say, either you can say return fail or you can say return F, that's up to you. So based on these marks limitations, greater than or equal to, so you keep a limitation like that, the loop will be returning the grade based on these limitations of the marks, yeah? So you know whether the particular student got first class, second class, or fail, or pass, or whatever, yeah? Now after that you need to define grade, okay? Because you've been using the grade, so you need to define the grade. So what is grade? You create a variable called grade and say find the grade for a particular value. Could be 100, could be 90, could be 20, whatever. Specific value for the score. So you are using inside the parenthesis, you are using, in this case, for example, 80 marks or 80 score as an argument, specific argument. That is how you, so find grade 80 means you're calling the function, but then after calling you also assign it to a variable called grade. And then print grade. So you can either say find grade in one shot grade, or you can say, you can say first define grade and then say find grade, print grade, sorry. So you print it out and you can get the answer. For 80 it's C. So you can try that experiment with 5, 10, 15, 100, 60, 70. Or you can straight away print also, print find grade 80. You can do it that way also. That's up to you. Yeah, this is just to make it easier. So now you know how, what all steps are included in the define keyword, def keyword. So basically it's a keyword that lets you help in all this task. And the reason why we use def in most of the project is so that in complex projects, when there are many specific tasks to be carried out, if you can use for separate code blocks, for separate specific tasks, you can add the define and then make life much easier for the code. Like you have a particular task in which in one of the tasks it is calculating the sum of two numbers. In another task you want to calculate multiply, things like that, different tasks to carry out and then find specific values. So you can use multiple def keyword sets in your project. So that's the idea of, you may be wondering why use def at all. So that's the idea of using def, and you must have seen several complex projects or even simpler projects, for example, even simple and minimalist project also, sorry for that. You can use def because it makes life much easier for coding, as you will see when you practice. So now we want to carry out another task for giving out welcome message to the user. So we use the function name as welcome. In the parenthesis we use the argument name because we want the user to be greeted by name. So then I say print hello, comma, hello, welcome message, whatever, welcome to my coding blog or coding bootcamp, whatever you want to say. Hello, welcome to edtech by Meera bootcamp, something like that, and print out the welcome message, comma, and then the variable name. I don't want to upgrade, I don't want to do AI, but this AI in Replit is really chasing me. Okay, so comma and then the name. So what happens is, what will be the output? Hello, welcome to my coding bootcamp, whatever name. So now you want to call because you want a specific name, right? So you call the function by saying welcome, that's a function name, and then in the parenthesis argument specific name James or Mary or Tommy or Tom Hanks, whatever name you want to give, specific name you mentioned there. So that's how you call the function, and then when you print it out, sorry, there's some indentation. So when you print it out, it will say hello, welcome to my bootcamp, Tom Hanks, something like that. So you will get a personalized welcome message by using this code block. So I forgot to comment on the previous code block. That's why it was interfering with this one. Haha. Okay. So see here, the idea of using the def keyword with the welcome function was to carry out or implement this task of greeting the user with a specific name. So this is how we welcome to my coding bootcamp, Tom Hanks, whatever you want to say. So this specific task is also implemented in using your def keyword. So it's so much easier by using def. You can define so many functions and carry out specific tasks, even print out the result for the specific task, execute the task, So this is quite easy for you to do functions and carry out specific tasks. In other words, different tasks. It could be anything. This is just examples that I'm doing. So what else we want to do? Let me try something else. For example, let's say we want to find the area, the area of a particular, whatever it could be, like there's a particular structure, room or something like that. We have length, we have breadth. We want to, or a box or a room or tank, we want to find the area of that particular area or the body. Okay, so define, again using the define keyword, function name, find area, in the parenthesis, two arguments, L and B. L stands for length, B stands for breadth. You can also use W for width. So def, find area, LB, and then don't forget the colon, because that will set the indentation so that it will all fall into the same indent block. Yeah, and then you have to create a variable called area and define the area. So what is going to be area? Area usually will be, the formula for area is usually length multiplied by width, or length multiplied by breadth in this case. Yeah, L multiplied by B. So you have to specify that first, and then you want to, for carrying out the task, what you need to do, you need to use a return keyword. So then only it will carry out this task. So return the area. Return, use a return keyword, area. Then what happens when you use the return followed by the name of this variable, in this particular case, it will carry out the task of multiplying and returning the value. And then you can call the function and print the function. So you can call the function by doing what? Find area, and then use the specific values of length and breadth. So that is the meaning of calling the function in this case. So the name of the function and specific values for the arguments. Let's say, for example, length could be 120, breadth could be 400, something like that, whatever. So by doing it like this, you are actually calling the function, and then print find area. You can do like that. You can also assign it to a variable called solution. Solution equals find area 120, 400, and then print solution. That's up to you. In fact, that will be easier to do, like the way we have done. There's some indentation problem. Let me fix it. So I hope by now, because it's for a beginner, it's very difficult to figure out what is def keyword, why we use it all the time, and what is the purpose of using it, and what advantage we have, and what exactly it is all about. So now you know. And what are the steps in using it? You've seen that also. Like I said again, def followed by function name, followed by parenthesis, inside that the whatever arguments you have, followed by colon for setting the indent block. Then explain the task, like in this case areas length into breadth, by creating a variable explaining the task. Then you execute the task by using the return keyword, and then like here return area, and then after that call the function by using the function name and the specific value for the arguments whatever, and assign it to a variable. Like in this case it could be solution, answer, or whatever, give it some name, or outcome, because that's what you want to, or the calculated value, whatever you call it. So solution, so you've assigned it to a variable called solution, because that's what we are looking out for. Find area 120, so you called it, and then you print out the solution, print solution. So quite cool. Now you must be happy, because I just explained it like the way I would explain it to a child. So this is how I would have understood if I was a total beginner learning Python. I would understand. So that's the reason why I'm explaining it also this way. There are several explanations of def you will find online, but I try to make it as simple as possible to break down in a way that smaller tiny tots would understand. Even me as a beginner used to consider myself as a tiny tot lost in the world of Python, haha. And there were several keywords that I failed to understand, so I understood it this way. So that's why I'm explaining it this way. But for those who are already knowing about deaf or experts, I wouldn't want them to watch this tutorial because you would find it boring, because you already know what is deaf about. This is for those who do not know what is deaf keyword, why it is used, what is the significance, how it is used. So this tutorial is specifically for them. See you in the next with more definitions and